I'm going to take a real quick video here before I reassemble this restoration here. This is a Sunbeam Rain King Model G2. There's all kinds of information on my webpage about the G and the G1. This being the G2 was the third and final model. All the accoutrements from the previous two models were incorporated in it, and it's a pretty cool sprinkler, to be honest with you. Very rare. They're hard to find. Excuse me. Meat and peanuts. But the reason I'm taking this video is because there's going to be people out there that are going to see G2 and they have one and they want to restore it and they're trying to figure out how to get it apart. Well, the key to all that right here is this pipe. As you can plainly see, that's left-handed threads. Now that pipe is the pipe that passes through the base and into the water neck. On the other side of the base is going to be this lock nut. That's what holds the whole shebang together. Well, this part is left-handed threads as well as the pipe. Also, the lock stop, as it's referred to, which is going to sit above this nut, is going to be riding up and down on this pipe in order to grab a hold of the underside of the counterweight and either hold it still or let it spin. On the other end of this pipe, of course, is standard thread. There's a lock nut that will insert into the counterweight, and internally there will be a packing, and then this lock nut, of course, goes on the end of this pipe. Otherwise, the whole thing would just come apart. The final components, of course, are the barrel of the gun, as it's referred to. Has a small lock ring here that is on crushed threads. In other words, this lock nut is not meant to be removed. It has a travel of about 3 or 4 threads, which is all that is required to hold still the final component, which goes on the end of that pipe, and that would be the nozzle barrel with spray wheel. And I'm going to take a minute to point out that the reason that this nozzle with spray wheel has not been in any way, shape, or form cleaned up or restored is quite simply because it's one of the one of the few that have come across my bench that is completely original. This unit, I doubt, has had very much use over the course of its entire life. The barrel of the nozzle itself threads up and down freely and still has the original inside packing, which basically stops it from coming right off. And of course, as you can plainly see right there, that's the bronze, excuse me, that's the bronze pin that is attached to the inside of the spray wheel that passes through this brass casting and then gets hand peened by the gentleman who assembled all this by hand. I've had plenty of these barrels come in where the wheel was sloppy and needed to be rebushed, or the nozzle barrel itself was stripped and had to be repacked. That's why I haven't cleaned it up. So now we'll get back to putting the sprinkler together and getting it out there for you folks to enjoy. Happy New Year.